All else being equal, more views on Airbnb means more bookings and more money into your pocket. So naturally, a lot of hosts are interested in strategies that are going to help them to get more views on Airbnb. If you can fight and win the game of playing the almighty search algorithm of Airbnb and climb to the top of the search results and get more views to your listings, you're going to have a lot more money going to your bottom line. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 tips that are going to help you to get more views on Airbnb so that you can optimize and dominate the competition and just really bring your short-term rental property to its full potential on Airbnb. To start with, let's jump right in and let's talk about your headline. This is going to be the first tip I have, is to optimize the heck out of your headline. Make sure it's something that makes people want to click through to your listing. I see so many people wasting opportunities with their headline by including things like the name of their property that they've assigned to it that means absolutely nothing and doesn't communicate any value to potential guests. You really want to highlight some of the core features and benefits of your property that make your property stand out over the competition right in the headline. Things like certain amenities you have, the number of people your property sleeps, what things your property is close to, how far it is it walking distance. There's so much that you can pack into that 50 character limit of your headline. You want to make sure you include as much as possible. So that's tip number one, is to really dive in and optimize the actual headline for your listing. Now, I want to stop right here before we move on to number two and share that for any of these tips, including the headline, everything else I'm going to talk about here, if you want the step-by-step how-to on exactly how to optimize every single element, then I'd highly recommend that you check out BNB Tribe. It's our brand new community for Airbnb hosts, co-host, investors, property managers, whatever you want. You can get all the training on all of this, all of our tools, resources, and be a part of this incredible community. Plus get access to over $2,000 in different deals and perks with different short-term rental industry vendors for products, services, softwares, what have you, all by just checking out and joining BNB Tribe. The link is in the description down below. We made it super affordable so that anyone can join and literally make their entire year's membership back with just one night's booking. So I highly recommend that you check it out. So that's tip number one, is your listing description, your listing headline rather. The next is going to be your cover photo. Tip number two is to really dial in your cover photo. Now, specifically, one thing I really like to do with my cover photo when I'm testing it out and trying new things is I like to go and search for a property to stay at in my area where my property is located and use some of the same search parameters that I think my ideal guest would be looking for. That way I can pull up all the search results, get them right in front of me, and I can take what I'm thinking about using for my cover photo and actually put it right there. I just kind of overlay it over the screen so I can see how it looks compared to all the competition that other people are going to be looking at. Now, with your cover photo, you really want to do two things. Number one, you want to make sure that you highlight some of the biggest, best amenities, features, things about your property, the reasons why someone would book. So I see a lot of people making the mistake of just putting a picture of their living room, and it's really not that great. It's nothing too special, and it's really not going to entice someone to want to click through to your property. Instead, take a picture of the incredible view that you've got, or all the amenities you have in the backyard. Or if you're taking a picture of the living room, then make sure it has a really great view or some kind of feature or a game out. Just make it something that is going to be really attractive and showcase an amenity. Number two, you want to stand out. You want your property, your listing, to actually stick out like a sore thumb on that search results page. So if everyone has photos of their living room, then take a picture outside. Take a picture of a different angle, a different shot with different lighting, different colors. Do something to make that listing, that photo, actually stand out from the crowd so you don't just blend in with all the other properties there. Optimizing your cover photo is virtually guaranteed to get you more views and more clicks. My third tip for getting more views to your listing is frequent updates. It might sound silly, but the more frequently you go in and update your listing, even things like just adding some photos, taking some photos away, trying out a different headline, trying out a different listing description, editing some stuff, the more frequently you go in and make those updates, the better you're going to perform on Airbnb search, the more views you're going to get. Now, it's not going to make a night and day difference to go and change out the odd little thing here and there, but it will give you a boost because it tells Airbnb's search algorithm that you're active with your listing, that everything's up to date, and that your property is more bookable for guests. So it is going to help you to perform better in the search results. It's not a coincidence that a lot of you have probably had this experience of going in and changing some things, tweaking some stuff on your listing, and then suddenly getting a bunch of inquiries and a bunch of bookings right after that. This is because that's actually something that Airbnb's search algorithm optimizes for. So you want to be going in there and doing it actively. Now, my fourth tip is going to be pricing. Make sure that your pricing is competitive. You want to make sure that you're in line with where you should be relative to the competition. This really involves got whole other videos and all kinds of extensive training on how to optimize your pricing. But doing that is not just going to optimize your revenue because you're not leaving money on the table. It's also going to actually make sure that your listing performs better in search. Because if people are looking for properties and applying certain search parameters, they might be eliminating your property from their search results, therefore getting you fewer views just because you priced your property a little too high. Or if Airbnb thinks that your property is not very bookable because it's priced so high, then you're going to get fewer views again. So you want to be careful with this. You want to make sure that you're not pricing too low and leaving money on the table, but if you price too high, then you can also leave a lot of views on the table and you can really hurt your search performance. So dialing in your pricing and dialing in the pricing of your cleaning fees of everything can be really, really helpful for getting more views to your listing. Are you a brand new or experienced Airbnb host, co-host, or investor who wants to host as successfully, as profitably, and with as much fun as possible? If so, then I would love to invite you to check out BNB Tribe, linked in the description down below this video. It's our exclusive community for Airbnb hosts, investors, and co-hosts from all over the world, where I share some of my best trainings that go into detail on every single aspect of Airbnb hosting from A to Z. We've got advanced training playbooks that will help you to use more advanced strategies to take things to the next level and make more money and have more fun hosting, co-hosting, or investing on Airbnb. You're also going to get access to an incredible community and over $2,500 worth of deals, perks, discounts, bonuses that I've negotiated with other vendors in the short-term rental industry. So if you want access to all of that and a whole bunch more, check out the link in the description down below for BNB Tribe, and I would love to see you on the inside. Now, right in line with that is my fifth tip for getting more views to your listing. And this is probably one of the most effective things you can do to get more views to your listing once you've got the first four sorted out, is going to be running what we call Airbnb Promotions. Now, a promotion on Airbnb is something that a lot of you might be familiar with. And some of you guys, I might be telling you about this for the first time, in which case I'm very excited to do so. Airbnb Promotions allow you to discount your pricing for certain dates. They decide which dates you're going to be allowed to do this for or not. And depending on the percentage that you allow to discount off of your nightly rate, the more perks you're going to get that are going to boost up your views. So for starters, you'll get something like a /through discount line item on your pricing. And then you might get a special call out on your listing page if you discount a little bit more. And if you discount enough, you can actually get featured in Airbnb's emails out to guests who are specifically looking for properties to stay at in that area. So it can be a really, really helpful way to get additional views. Typically, I'll see anywhere from 1 to 500 additional views on one of my listings when I run a promotion. Now, you want to apply these strategically so that you're not dropping your nightly rates through the floor. Again, we've got additional training on exactly how to leverage these the best possible way, but promotions can be a really, really great way to get more views to your listing. No doubt about that. Next on my list, coming in at number 6, is going to be to optimize for 5-star reviews. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably already doing this. It's kind of a given that you want to get 5-star reviews on Airbnb, but did you know that the more 5-star reviews that you get, the more views you actually get? It's not just that people are going to be seeing those 5-star reviews and more likely to book. It actually means that you're going to get promoted higher in the search results, especially for specific group types on Airbnb. This is a relatively new function to their algorithm, and the way that it works is that if a group of, let's say, 8 people stays at your property and they have a really great time and leave you a 5-star review, now when someone's looking for a place to stay for a group of 8, your property is going to show up more high in the search results. So it can be really, really helpful to improve your search ranking, just getting those 5-star reviews. Now, obviously, there's all kinds of stuff that goes into getting 5-star reviews, but probably the lowest hanging fruit that I see so many people missing out on is literally just asking for it. Once you've done a really great job of going above and beyond and hosting these people really, really effectively, now you just want to ask for it. Just have something in your automated messaging that goes out, prompting people to leave a 5-star review if they feel they had a really great stay. By doing this, you can dramatically increase the number of 5-star reviews that you get on your listing, which is going to have you just performing way better overall. It's going to really help you to get more views. Now, next on the list, coming in at number 7, is going to be to increase your conversion rate. Now, I'm not going to dive into too much detail about exactly how to increase your conversion rate because we cover that in other videos. It's a whole other topic. There's lots of things you can do, whether it's increasing your conversion rates by improving your photos, improving all the photos beyond just the cover photo, adding more captions, improving your listing descriptions, what have you. These are all really great ways to increase your conversion rate, but the side benefit of doing it is it's also going to increase the number of views you get because Airbnb determines which properties to show high up in the search results by which properties make it more money, make Airbnb more money. And Airbnb makes money when properties actually get booked. So if you increase your conversion rate, that's going to have a disproportionate impact on the number of people that actually see your listing, the number of views that you get. So taking the time to optimize everything else down the road is also going to be really, really helpful. Now, along the lines of that, this is going to help with conversion rate as well as your listing view rate is going to be optimizing all of your amenity selections on Airbnb. That's my 8th tip is make sure you go through with the back end of Airbnb, the hosting dashboard, and select every single amenity that you've got for your property. Everything in there, you want to make sure that you've got it checked off if you've got it, or if you don't, make sure you specify that. But as many of those boxes you can check as possible, you want to check off because number 1, that's going to be a more complete listing that's just going to get more views. But number 2, if people are searching for properties that have a hot tub and you mention that you have a hot tub, you've got it in the photos, but you just don't have that box checked on Airbnb, then when they filter out to find only properties with hot tub, yours isn't going to show up. So it's really, really important that you check off all those boxes so that people that are searching can actually find your property and you're going to show up more, get more views that way. Now, my next tip, my 9th tip is going to be to market your property, market your Airbnb listing externally. Now, you may or may not want to actually do this depending on if you have your own direct booking platform set up. If you do, you might want to drive more of your traffic from your own marketing efforts to that direct booking website, but it can be a really, really great way to get additional views on your Airbnb listing is just to market externally and drive people straight to it. So one of my favorite strategies for this is going to be email marketing, collecting the email addresses of other guests that stay with you and then remarketing your property to them down the road. You can also do things like social media marketing where you post on Instagram all about your property, or you go and post it up on things like Facebook Marketplace can even be effective sometimes at getting more views to your property. So this can be a really great way to get more views flooding into your property through your own efforts. Now, my 10th and final tip for getting more views to your short-term rental property on Airbnb is actually not even on Airbnb. Now, if you've done all the other 9 things that I mentioned in this video and you've really maximized them, you've really nailed them, then you've probably maxed out the number of views that you can realistically expect to get on Airbnb. And so naturally, what you want to do to keep getting more views for your property is to expand to multiple platforms. If you've done all this stuff really well, then now you can go and duplicate it over on another platform like VRBO or Booking.com, and you can essentially just double the amount of exposure you get for your property by being on another platform. Now, with other platforms, you might not actually double the amount of views or bookings you get because obviously some platforms have more or less traffic than others, but you might actually be really surprised at how much traffic you can generate on these other platforms and how many bookings you can generate on these other platforms if you really do have things dialed in. So that's my 10th and final tip, is to actually expand multi-platform. But I tried to address these points in as much of a chronological order of importance as I possibly could. So I certainly wouldn't recommend doing that and listing multi-channel first before you've gone and optimized all the other elements here that we touched on in this video. So again, if you want to learn more about how you can work more closely on all this stuff, get step-by-step guidance, be a part of an incredible community, I highly recommend that you check out BNB Tribe, linked in the description down below. If you liked this video and got value from it, make sure you hit the like button down below to show me that you love it, show you actually enjoy these types of videos. If you're new to the channel here and you have not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe as well. We post 2 new videos every single week here on the channel. So if you want to stay up to date date with those. Get all kinds of really great Airbnb and short-term rental hosting tips, guidance, strategies, everything you could ever need. Then make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well if you want to be notified when we release new videos. And then last but not least, let me know any comments, questions, thoughts, anything you want to share with me in the comment section down below. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. I hope this has been helpful for you too and valuable to you. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.